much. I'd like to invite Vakiflar representative, our main sponsor, Representative Guldal Sisman, to introduce our next speaker.
Welcome again, everybody. I'm so sad I didn't wear my high heels. I kind of have to look at you like this. Thank you for being here, and I'd like to thank also Turk of America for preparing this wonderful event. I think it's a great opportunity for us, especially the entrepreneurs, to come together here and share ideas. And I think great questions were coming today from the crowd. I really enjoyed it. And I'm here to talk a little bit about Ülkü. Besides the difficulty that she has in her name with double U, which I can relate to that in terms of pronunciation in the United States, Ülkü managed to overcome many difficulties in USA and became one of the successful Turkish women in finance and technology, of which we are proud of as Turkish men and women. Since the morning, we are all listening Turkish entrepreneurs who were very successful in the United States, and they had this common thing with Ülkü, which I couldn't help but realize, which is they became successful not only because they were entrepreneurs or finance executives in the world capital like Ülkü. They became successful like her because they were integrated their lives in the United States life, and they were not assimilated. So remembering that means that you're coming from a culture which is very successful and very powerful, and not forgetting who you are, but at the same time not allowing another country to assimilate you. I think that's a big success. She celebrated her culture as a mother of two beautiful kids, and she has Ivy League schools in her knapsack, together with prestigious companies that she worked for all her career. And I believe she is not also successful because of all of this, but because also she sings in a Turkish chorus on Saturdays. So she has a beautiful voice, which we're going to hear in soon. And I'm honored to celebrate her as a mom, as a woman, as a finance and technology executive, who we all share the same culture and ethnic background with all of us here Turks. And here's Ülkü.
Guldal, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. And unlike Guldal, I did wear my high heels, but I still can't see you guys. It's an honor to be here. I want to thank our hosts, both Vakiflar and the team of America Consulting, for giving me the chance to be here today. And so I've been asked to come here and talk to you guys about my background and how I came to be who I am. And so I want to start with maybe giving you an introduction of what I do today, and then maybe walk you through some of my journey into finance, and talk about the last decade, because I think the last decade has been very transformational, both in the financial services sector and me professionally in my journey to what took me to be here today. And maybe, as I talk along my story, you'll pick up some pointers. You'll cherish some of the successes and some of the failures. And I'm sure you're going to draw a lot of parallels between what happened in my life and my journey here and what you guys are going through as an immigrant to this country, as a mother, as a woman trying to make it in a male-dominated sector. And it's an honor to see so many women in this room, by the way. Great to see everybody. Not that I don't want to see the men. Men are great too. All right. So I work for JP Morgan, and I've been there about 2 years. I think a lot of people know the name JP Morgan. It's JP Morgan Chase, actually. And JP Morgan does a lot of things. It's one of the biggest financial services firm in the world. And JP Morgan Chase is actually almost 4 different companies. There's the Chase, you guys know about the commercial, the checking account Chase branches at every street corner. Then there's JP Morgan, the investment bank, and that's the usually that when we talk about the failures of the financial market, that's the piece people are talking about, the investment bankers. They're mainly dealing with, raising debt for companies so that, they can capitalize the company structures. And that's either through, issuing bonds or stocks, advising the companies on their mergers and acquisitions, advising them on their IPOs. And then there's a trading and sales part of investment bank, which is really doing market making in the various markets in the world, including commodities, equities, interest rates. There's a ton of markets that we trade in. So that's the second part. So there's a chase, there's investment bank, there's global wealth management, and global wealth management usually does two things. It advises very high net worth individuals, which we call the private bank. These are the ultra net worth individuals, around things like estate planning, making sure there's trusts in place and how to spend their money and how to preserve the wealth. It also includes asset management, which is for the people that are not that wealthy, but relatively wealthy, on how to manage their stock portfolios and their investments. The final piece of JP Morgan is the commercial bank, and this is where we deal with commercial companies, municipalities, and other financial institutions. Those are usually the smaller scale financial institutions. The $2 million hardware store would be a client of the commercial bank. In the same way, we deal with a lot of the other companies. So that's JP Morgan. What do I do at JP Morgan? I manage a group of people that helps JP Morgan manage their risk. And as you know, through the various failures of the financial systems, it's become apparent that running a financial services company doesn't come without risk. And that risk has to be very well managed. So my team develops the mathematical models around the financial products that JP Morgan deals with across three of those. So we look at the investment bank, we look at the commercial bank, and we look at the wealth management pieces of JP Morgan. We look at that entire portfolio. We look at the mathematical modeling that's required to be able to accurately reflect the risk profile of the relationships and the portfolios that we manage on a day-to-day basis. And if you look at a firm like JP Morgan, we do business in hundreds of countries across the world with millions of relationships with people. It's anywhere between the small-scale companies to the individuals to the Microsofts of the world, the Twitter IPO. It all goes through the JP Morgan stack. So there is a whole lot of variety in the number of instruments that we have in our portfolio. So my team has a number of quants with PhDs that do mathematical modeling. We have a lot of computer engineers and computer scientists that can put these models into production. We have a lot of business analysts, data scientists, project managers to pull this all together. I run a team of about 400 people across the globe. We have people in New York, we have people in London, we have people in Asia that helps us do this. So that's kind of what I do today. How did I